BowmanDigitalMedia.com.
JoeTheFinanceGuy.com.
Are we here?
Live.
Are we live?
Yes, we are. So that's the thing, Joe. That we need a little something saying, hey. And now, without further ado, we're radiating real, baby.
Radiating real. All right, so I'm actually going to put my AirPods in so I can sound like Max Headroom. No, I'm kidding. Come on.
You scared us a little bit there, Joe. It was the funniest thing, but I was like, we can't do a whole show like that. And there's Nancy's cat, who always has to get some attention.
Yes. Shout out to your cat.
Officially a show now.
Oops, all right, so everybody, welcome to. It used to be Saturday. I was about to say Saturday's Cup of Joe. It's Friday's Cup of Joe. It's just called Cup of Joe now. My name is Ira Bowman. My co-host Joe the finance guy, Stepke. He's the Joe. I'm the Cup, I guess. I'm always drinking coffee, so we put the Joe in the coffee.
Yes, Team Coffee.
Yeah, and so today we have our special guest Tim, but Tim, and he's going to get into this in just a minute, wasn't feeling well, so we brought in a support. I was going to say animal. That's probably not the right way to say that. But our friend,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I kid. Look, if you don't know me, know this. If I tease you, it's because I like you. If I don't tease you, I either don't know you or I don't like you. It's one or the other. But I
am good with it. I can be a support animal. That's fine.
Yeah, I love these.
How about an amazing human being, creator of Radiating Real, great friend,
brand new LinkedIn Live host.
Oh, did you get it? I got it
yesterday. Boom!
I got it. That's right. You've been off. You missed my whole applied 49 times, rejected 48.
Right. Oh man, I am.
Hey, it's like what when I was trying to date my wife. You only need one yes.
That's true. That's
doesn't matter how many times they say no. Just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have. Well, maybe that's an all right one to use.
Let's do this though. Let's do like Tim and then Nancy. We're gonna break the ladies first thing because we're gonna go Tim first. Tim, like just 3 minutes. Tell us the backstory. Like who is Tim? Not necessarily about what's happened this last week, but
Yeah. So Tim grew up in Astoria, Queens, in New York City. He moved to Lake Carmel, New York, with his family. He went to college at Western Connecticut State University, got his degree in Spanish with the goal of becoming a Spanish high school teacher. He totally scrapped that. He joined the student newspaper. He worked at newspapers for 12 plus years. He worked in New Mexico, New Hampshire, Connecticut, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. And then he ended up here in the woods.
How New Mexico? New Mexico, like if we were watching Sesame Street, that was the one that popped out. Like, that doesn't belong.
That was because that was my my first real job out of college. I went to journalismjobs.com. I applied for every single newspaper job I could find. Hello, Brian Schulman. And I got a call from a guy named Barry Hefner, the editor then, and he said, we want to fly you out for an interview. And I said, okay.
Yeah, well, you got to break in. Everybody's got to break in somewhere. And New Mexico is beautiful. It just everything else was East Coast, and you're like New Mexico. Okay, I've been there. It's pretty. It's wide open. There's a lot of space.
Yeah, I live near the Navajo reservation, like 3 hours from can't think of the word. The capital, Albuquerque.
Yeah, Albuquerque.
Yeah, that.
Don't try and spell it.
Bear with me as I'm reaching for words.
That's all right. Okay, so
that's really why I'm here.
So you got into
Nancy will fill in the blanks.
You got into journalism. You got into journalism anyway. So then what happened? What happened from there? How did you go from there to here?
Well, I was working at a newspaper in New Jersey. It was a startup newspaper. It lasted 1 year, and then it folded. And then I ended up moving here in the woods in Shahola, and I didn't want to commute like 2 hours to a newspaper job or something. So I did some freelance writing, and I ended up interviewing brands like the New York Times, Weight Watchers, Dunkin' Donuts, and other ones about how they were using social media for websites like Media Bistro, PBS Media Shift, and some other publications. And then I ended up, after that, starting my business, Sohn Social Media Solutions, almost 8 years ago. At first, I was helping small local businesses here in Pennsylvania through social media trainings, and then eventually through social media management as well, and things like that, public relations. And then the pandemic happened. And then I started live streaming courses, originally called Survive with Live, and now called Survive and Rise with Live. And next time I'll just add a few more words on it. And
it's clever. So Survive with Live.
I'm a Survive and Rise with Live. Yes.
There we go.
Bravo. All right. Now Nancy has 2 shows.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll dig into more on your business in a minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely want to talk about your business because you and I are in similar businesses. So I'm interested in that. But also, you've had a crazy week. So we definitely want to.
In a week.
That. But before we do that, let's make sure everybody knows who Nancy is too. So Nancy, if you don't mind, do basically the same thing that Tim just did. He just, he's a production guy, right? So he follows directions really well.
We got the quick version.
Yeah. So just a quick version. So your backstory.
Yeah. So grew up in New York. I moved to Los Angeles after transferring from George Washington University in DC. I had dropped out, moved out here for another sort of trial on life. It was a good safety net. My brother lived here at the time he still lives here, but it was at the time his girlfriend, now wife.
Here is LA, right? Just so everybody.
Yes, in Los Angeles. Yes. So I transferred to UCLA and, had known since the time I was a junior in high school that I wanted to be a speech language pathologist. So followed that path, did my graduate work, was never planning on staying in LA. I was definitely going back to New York. It was never going to happen that I stayed here. And I met my ex-husband my last semester of graduate school and I stayed here. So, worked many years as a speech language pathologist, 21. In fact, I have worked. I have my own private practice. And 7 months ago, something amazing happened. 7 months ago, my best friend, Raquel Boris, posted on LinkedIn about me, that her best friend was new to LinkedIn. So say hello, connect with her, reach out kind of thing. And from there, all sorts of things have happened. It's a little unfathomable. But I showed up not knowing anything. I didn't know anything about the algorithms. I didn't know anything about the rules. I didn't know you weren't supposed to repost. I had no idea what I was doing, basically. And I love it because everything that's happened since has happened just because I showed up. Not because I was trying to make anything work or do it a certain way, because I had heard that. It was all about me just showing up. And I am so grateful to the LinkedIn community because they welcomed me with open arms and they have allowed me to grow. Can I say LERV instead? Can I say LERV? They have allowed me.
Wait. This is branding.
There you go.
Yeah, baby.
And since being here, the LinkedIn community has just welcomed me with open arms. It's an amazing community of people who are just open-hearted, full of gratitude and positivity, who are looking to be authentic and connect with one another. So I was on a telethon and I started talking about my story. And so, I'm not going to get into it here, but it's out there. I have a history I'm a person who experienced sexual abuse. I had an eating disorder for years, depression still present in my life. I'm divorced, got all that stuff going on. And I started sharing all those stories, and it resonated with people.
So
And-
Brian Schulman speaks Spanish with a stutter.
Oh, hola. That's the town I live in.
Habla español.
Habla español. We're all about we love the rhyming here. And I was on the telethon, and from there, things just kept happening. As Tim and Brian Schulman will tell you and love to say, I showed up in the green room for Shout Out Saturday and just wouldn't go away. And so now I'm part of the dream team. I just was embraced by them. And I do What's Good Wednesday with Brian. I have 2 live shows that I do. One is mine, Connected Human Conversations. The other I co-host with a group of people. And that is the Island of Misfit Toys. And from all of this, then what I was looking for what I was going to be doing on LinkedIn. I never came here for business. I was just telling my story.
Yeah.
And what has evolved out of it is I started the Radiating Real campaign.
But that's awesome. Look, let me just tell you, I started on LinkedIn. I'm a print professional by trade, right? I wasn't a business owner. I wasn't looking to become, go viral or anything else. I'm just, but I think what's awesome is people that are awesome, that people gravitate towards you. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know where your journey is necessarily going to end up. As long as you're here and you are being real, which I love the Radiating Real hashtag. We've talked about that before. Like, that's why I jumped on board with it. What I love about that is people being people, authentic people, is popular on LinkedIn. And this is why it's my favorite platform. And Nancy, you've quickly become one of my favorite people.
Oh, thank you.
Next to maybe my bestie, Joe. He's still confused about Batman and Superman, but we'll get into that later.
So, well, that's a hard one, I will admit. So yeah, Radiating Real, I showed up, I just did my thing. And it's been 7 months. So that's bizarre. I never manifested being a live stream host.
Yeah.
That wasn't even something I even knew was a possibility. And here it is in my lap. And just as recently as that's the English word. Just as recently.
Onions? Are there onions?
No, not yet. Just as recently as a few weeks ago, I was sort of like, well, what am I doing? Like people kept asking, like, I don't know how to market what I know and what I do. I don't know how to put that into something I can give people. And Radiating Real started. Thank you. Radiating Real started and people took a hold of it. Like you said, people want to show up without their mask. People want to be able to be themselves 24/7. Yeah. And this unconditional acceptance and support that they're receiving from Radiating Real, which is basically just taking a selfie, and putting up a bit of why you're doing it and putting some information there about the Radiating Real campaign and how other people can do it and to tag me. And it has just been transformative for people. And I keep getting the most amazing feedback on how supported people feel and how it's made such a big difference in their lives. And to be a part of that, to be a person who launched that is a privilege. And to see how people are coming to life because they're unburdening themselves with all the BS and they're just being themselves.
Nancy, it's funny. You're talking like it's already happened. This thing's still in first gear, dude. Like, you haven't even seen what's going to happen. This is going to have legs. Like, ask Brian about LinkedIn Fam. You know what I mean? LinkedIn Fam, when he launched it, I'm sure he had no idea how big that sucker was going to get and how many people would use it. Project Help You Grow. I mean, look, all this stuff, it gets legs. You can't even, it's like trying to recork the toothpaste. You can't, once you, it's out.
Oh, and I love it. It was completely, and is completely overwhelming. Great things. Trying to keep up inspired. You guys follow #Radiating Real and you will see what these people, Michelle, what people are doing, how they're putting themselves out there, and look through the comments. So powerful what's happening in the comments. Please, please, please take a minute for yourself, not for me, but for you. See what's happening. And if you feel like you want to be a part of that, jump in, please.
Advice for everybody. I don't care what post it is. The post itself is the conversation starter. That's the spark. The best part of every post is in the comments every single time. And if it isn't, then the post sucked. Okay. Like, if you get no comments, don't do that post again. Do a different type of post.
That's not resonating with people, right? What's resonating with people?
Right.
And from that, actually, the Chick with the Tool Belt was born. This program that I created by looking at what I do and hearing from people I've done it with unknowingly, just by sort of showing up and being me, of helping people, guiding people to find their inner voice and to unleash their passion, find how they can how do you comfortably voice, express yourself, and how using this new voice you found, what's comfortable for you. Let's explore that, and let's get you out there. Let's get that voice out there. Let's get you authentically out there. Let's get you radiating real. Let's get your passion to ignite passion in other people and inspire other people. And so that's Chick with the Tool Belt. Is I have a lot of things that I know, and
yes, she does.
I do. And I have this ability, I will say, to I can't necessarily do it for myself, but you tell me what you're trying to accomplish, and it's so clear to me the steps to take for you. And the ideas just flow. And so I love giving people that permission. And I love giving people being part of their moment of, wow, I really just found my voice and I don't want to be quiet anymore. I have Alexis Thornton I'm working with. And she said after our first meeting, and this is really what made me think, okay, I need to be able to put this out there for people to grab a hold of. And she said to me, when you talked to me about having to post, right, that I'm going to need to post, to get this going, she had a moment of panic because she's like, I didn't have anything to say. I didn't have anything important. I didn't have anything interesting. And by the end of the phone call, she was like, oh my gosh, I have so much I want to say. And I have a year's worth of posts that I can do. I didn't know that I had so much to say. And that for me is why I do it. Right. To see that, to be able to ignite that in someone, because one of the reasons I don't call it coaching is that's you. It's in you the whole time. And once you find it, it's you don't turn it off, and it's yours, and you can keep going without me. You can thank me once in a while. That's great, but you don't need me. So I'm working myself out of a job, which is, an important thing to do, because it means that people are getting out of it what they need. Yeah. And if anyone wants to talk about it, and I know Brian Schulman is great about doing this, 15-minute free consultation, calendly.com/Nancy Barrows. You can tell I'm excited about this. I have a lot of energy and passion about it. And so if you have questions, just want to know, sign up. Let's have a conversation. Because even if Radiating Real and the Chick with the Tool Belt isn't for you right now, great connections and building community are so important. I love people. I love engaging with people. I love making them feel important, seen, heard, understood. So that was supposed to be the quick version.
Yeah, that's okay. We got a lot in there. So Joe, we need to do
hold on a minute, Ira. I actually wanted to do a SpongeBob moment. Hey, give us the quick version. 4 hours later.
Right.
No, I'm only kidding. And Nancy, it was great. I do, but I really, right when you said the quick version, all I was thinking was,
I'm working on my 30-second pitch. Okay.
3 minutes or 15 minutes, whichever.
And I talk fast because I'm a New Yorker, so I can get a lot in, but it's 30-second pitch being worked on.
Joe, we do have to do some business.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. You're going to love this one. I already got it.
You got it? Scroll it down to the bottom. All right, because what I'm going to say is, there we go. All the opinions and views expressed in the show are of Joe, the finance guy, and not of Asima or Princess Center. We're doing that because Joe Stepke, I wanted to ask you, man, we haven't talked in a couple weeks. So before we get into Tim's hellacious week, you've had a week, I've had a week. I thought, let's break this up a little bit. Tell us what. Can we do breaking news, or should we not do breaking news? Or
no, I don't want to do breaking news on it because they're just pilot stores to start off, so I don't want to do breaking. I don't want to do breaking news.
Let's not jinx it. But anyways, you've got some good stuff that's happening
in the pipeline. Yeah, I got some really good things that are happening.
It's percolating.
It is. It's percolating.
Somebody say coffee.
I was gonna say that's coffee to me.
Look, it's called Cup of Joe, bro. We bring this back to coffee all the time.
Percolating.
Well, I'm over here, and I was listening to Tim and Nancy, and I'm telling you, my hat's off to you guys when you produce, because it's like crazy stuff. And remember how I did I was making fun of Brian. I'm about to talk about you. I was making fun of Brian last week on last Saturday's show because everything that happened. I go like this, man. I remember how embarrassed it was. I go, and you guys handled it. You were great. You were Johnny on the spot. I think I would have just went like this. Yeah, it's not happening this week. I'm sorry. Good luck, guys. See you later.
No, you throw out the bat signal and you let people jump in and help you. I mean,
right.
We're radiating real. It's not always perfect. It's not always easy. It's not always smooth. That's the reality of it all.
Yeah, and you guys did
more than ever
a great job. But I'm over here trying to catch up, and Brian, everybody is like on the comments. So I apologize that I'm sort of listening, but Well, you know what I'm doing.
It's a lot of work. It really is. It's the funniest thing. People don't understand. If you've never tried to pilot a show, you're trying to keep up with 3 platforms, StreamYard, and engage in the conversation without looking like you're disinterested. Because most of us are looking at split screens. So it's like I'm looking over here, not because I'm not paying attention, because that's where the stuff is. And you're over here and the camera's there. And welcome to live. I hate to say TV, it's not really TV, but
and Brian made a comment, and it took me a minute, but he said Hans Stepke or whatever he put it. Yeah, I think he said, "Oh, look, it's Hans Stepke." It didn't dawn on me until, oh my God, it's the black. It's this. I guess I look like Han Solo. And Brian, this isn't a costume. This is actually what I wear to work.
That's his work. That's his work.
Yeah, this is what I'm at. I actually.
As soon as the show's over, he'll be in a wife beater shirt. You know, his white.
It'll be a gray T-shirt, some shorts, and I'll go into the sunroom. That's exactly what I will go do.
I will go when I'm driving the bus. I'll go into the video where we play the music, right? And I'll come back because we do a debrief show where we look at how we did and we talk about the show. Anyways, so it's kind of like a recap. And Joe goes from being dressed up to like in this Fruit of the Loom shirt, and I'm like.
I'll strip right here. I'll get done and I'll just go like this. Listen, it's all right.
Done. He's like, I'm done.
I'm
done with this thing.
I'm putting on my T-shirt. So
for what it's worth, I snuck in some quick pool time, showered, and I'm clean, but I'm in a bathing suit cover up because that was like the fastest thing I could do and get back here.
Yeah.
See, and that's
Radiating
okay.
Real.
Radiating Real. That's what it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you know,
all right.
Mariella was the first person to radiate real, and she heard me on this show, and during the show made her post and came back and said, did it. So thank you, Mariella. There's so many people joining this brave space. Like it's a space where we all made the commitment to one another to be vulnerable together. And that makes it so much easier.
You know, not the weird thing, you know, and I know you and Tim keep posting it. I only thought one was good for me. If I got to do it all the time, I'm going to do one at 2:00 in the morning when I wake up, walk into the bathroom, and I stub my toe.
I almost did one.
So I'll do that one. That'll be radiating real.
Yeah, I almost did one this morning, but then I was like, well, I got to do my Follow You Friday thing, and you know, I'm trying to do right now. I'm testing one post a day. Like I know there's different frequencies, and I've done 2 or 3 a day for a long time, but I'm trying just to do one post a day. So like Friday is dedicated for #Follow You Friday, but I might do that tomorrow. I was tempted to do a radiating reel this morning.
It's getting back to Tim. Tim was the first person who decided that radiating reel was an ongoing thing. In my mind, it was do it once, and Tim's approach to it is brilliant. Because we continue to radiate real, right? It's not something you do one moment, one day. We continue to radiate real. So I've done a few. Tim is diligent. Tim is, and again, I know we're going to talk about his week, but he has been diligent every day, keeping us posted on what his reel is. Well, and I think that's so cool. And it has such a power to it that I hadn't even envisioned. And so anytime you want to radiate real, if you've done it once, if you've done it twice, if you've done it 10 times, 20 times, you can do it again. The whole thing is showing up and where you are and being in that moment.
Tag everybody you see on the screen. Tag Brian Schulman, right? And we'll come in and we will support these posts to help raise the visibility. Because if you're still not catching up with what radiating real is, it's like drop the veneer. Okay. The problem with social media, a lot of people want to show the best of the best. And it's almost like that Instagram Photoshop. Now, this is funny because I work in Photoshop. I'm a graphic designer. I'm a photographer. So I'm used to like putting the best foot forward. But this is the opposite. This is like, no, this is what I look like without the makeup on. This is what I look like without, pardon the expression, without combing my hair because I don't have any hair. But, all that stuff. And I have these big woolly eyebrows and my eyebrows were turned up. That's why I was going to take the picture. It was like, it looked really funny. And I was going to do that. But that's the idea, guys, is like, here's the real me. You think everything's perfect in my life, and we all have these challenges that nobody knows about. And it doesn't need to be a whining session or a complaining session. That's not the point of it. The point of it is like, we all have hardships And if you don't tell us about it, how can we support you? So that's what I like about Radiating Real. You keep it real, and you show us behind the scenes, and then we can actually, if you're a praying person, you can put them on your prayer list. You can, support them. You can try to maybe connect them with people who could help. There's all kinds of things that could happen. The community is not just about the best of the best now. It's about, how do I help you from where you are, get to where you want to go? And if I don't know your struggles, then I won't be able to do that as well.
Right. And I'm going to keep going back to
So
Tim.
I know I was going to say, I want to hear about Tim's week.
Yeah, let's do it. I think that's the right time to do it. So Joe, ask Tim about his week.
Talk about showing up.
Here we go again. All right. So I got to interview Tim. So Tim, hi.
So Joe, hi.
How are you?
I'm putting my listening post on.
And I want to make you feel more at home, Tim.
Yes.
Love. Did I say it right? I'd get my son in here.
Everybody say it. Love.
Yeah, we could do some social dancing.
Love. Yeah. No, I'm not going to do it now. I save that for Saturdays. So Tim, tell us about your week. And maybe some people I know don't know about what's going on in your life a little bit. So if you want to give a little bit of color, and then go into this week. I know that you've had
a hellacious week.
A hellacious week.
You've had a growing. I'm going to say you've had a growing week.
Growing week. I love that. I want it to go sort of positive and neutral. So growing week. So Tim.
Yeah.
Tell me what happened.
Yeah. So thanks so much for having me, first of all. And the last few weeks have just been, like Nancy was saying, such a growing, challenging, overwhelming in not so great and amazing ways altogether. It's just like a whole mix of emotions. And so what happened was I started with Nancy's Radiating Real campaign 23 days ago. I did my 23rd post today. And what happened was, along the way, I was creating content that was more vulnerable, which I didn't really do much of before. And what happened was a bunch of things came together that 15 years ago, almost 15 years ago, I was diagnosed with chronic leukemia. And I had not told many people about this before, but Jenny Gold had invited me on her show after Nancy Lewis Hill couldn't show up, and her show is all about autoimmune diseases. And I'm like, what am I going to talk about? And like I said, I hadn't talked much about chronic leukemia before. And also Steve Sullivan, who's on LinkedIn, created this video for National Cancer Survivors Day. And yes, definitely lots of hearts for Steve Sullivan. Just like that. So I saw this video, and just all these things happened in 1 week that I felt like it was the right time to share my story about chronic leukemia. And I was not planning on doing this anytime soon. And just all these different things came together. And I did it, and I went on Jenny Gold's show first and told my story. And so many people from LinkedIn, from Facebook, from all the fam showed up to support me. And it's just really, really, I'm really blessed to be surrounded by so many amazing people. I'm blessed to have Nancy in my life. I'm blessed to have you guys in my life. I'm blessed to have Brian Schulman in my life, and all the people that show up for all the shows. And then I told my story on Nancy's show that she is the host of now Connected Human Conversations on Sundays at 8 p.m. Right, Nancy? It's 5
p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Sorry.
I don't math.
Yeah. We're on Eastern, so that I knew where you're going, Tim. Go ahead.
Okay. So I told my story there, and I've also had chronic headaches for at least 5 years now, and so they would be really bad in the morning most days, and then they would get better at some point, and then worse later in the day. But it's just really a challenge. I hate to cancel client appointments or shows, but sometimes I have to do that because sometimes you just have to put yourself first, right? And in the last few weeks, my headaches have been getting worse. It's almost like a stabbing pain, in my back right hand side of my head. And I have this ringing in my ear, and I still have both of them right now. So bear with me. So what happened was, I don't know, somewhere between 1 and 2 weeks ago, I decided that I needed to have this looked into because the nature of the headaches were changing, and then the ringing of the ears started. So I tried to get an appointment with my primary care doctor. And the only thing he had was a virtual visit. His next appointment available is in like October or something in person. And I was like, okay, so he saw me. And so he said, let's try this. Let's give you 2 migraine pills, just literally 2. Maybe you have non-traditional symptoms of migraine headaches. Thank you, Brian. And I tried taking the 2 pills. They didn't work. They gave me Flonase for like allergy relief, but that didn't work. And then I was just so frustrated because I'm like, I have a virtual doctor visit. Maybe I have an earache. Maybe I a headache. Like, how do you solve something virtually for these kind of things, right? So then the next thing that happened was I decided to go to an urgent care, which is about 45 minutes away from here. Kind of hard to find an urgent care around here. So I went to urgent care, and urgent care, I told them my whole history, and they really didn't have many solutions at all. They suggested I go to the ER. Okay, so I go to the ER, and I've gone to the ER a few times in the past, but usually when they're like really bad, which they were. And sometimes I also get vomiting also. Shout out to that. But I didn't this time. So yes.
Hashtag gratitude. No vomiting.
Yay!
Hashtag no vomiting. So I end up in the ER in New York State, across the border, and I go to the ER, and they give me Percocet to help relieve the pain for the head. It didn't do that. They gave me a CAT scan. They didn't find anything. And then they basically said, I guess go see a neurologist. I've been to neurologists in the past. From my experience, they basically just give you medication. Like, they're like, try this medication, and then that doesn't work, and then they're like, have this medication, and it doesn't work. And I've been so tired of neurologists. Thank you, Nancy. Heart. So where am I?
You gone to so many neurologists. I know I'm producing and stuff.
No,
please.
Left the ER, and they said go to a neurologist.
Right. So they said go to a neurologist. So
they didn't wait because they didn't have one there. So this is, to me, an important piece.
Yes.
Is, at most ERs, if the recommendation is you need to see a neurologist, they'll call someone from neurology, and you'll get the consult right then and there from the neurologist. This is that persistence, right? Because they didn't have someone for you to see. So you had to leave in pain without answers and go make an appointment with a neurologist to continue to advocate for yourself and find out what was going on.
Yes.
Every step of the way, you had to choose to stick with it, choose yourself, choose that you are going to get some answers and that you are not going to continue living this way. And that is not easy.
Also, I mean, you got to think about it in the moment that he's in. Each step, it's another day that he's been living in excruciating pain with no sleep. Right. So when you're having a bad day, it's not necessarily as hard to deal with because you're fully rested and you're handling it on a normal strength. But this is after being I'm down, I'm run down, and then I'm run down, and this nauseating pain and no hope, desperation, all those things. I probably would have been the world's biggest asshole to everybody. You're probably much nicer than I am, but I get grumpy. I'm that guy who needs to eat a Snickers bar. I'm just going to tell you.
I told Tim to go back in there and stand on the nurse's station and tell them, if you think I need to see a neurologist, then you need to get one down here unless you're willing to take responsibility for anything that happens between now and when I can get in to see a neurologist.
And I did ask them after she said that, I did ask if they had an on-call neurologist, and they said, we don't have neurologists here. So I left, and then literally after I left the emergency room, my family wasn't there yet. I went in my car and I made a radiating real video at that moment, just radiating real, like how frustrated I was, like how hard is it to, like the Percocet didn't work. Like, do they have another option? Like, I'm still in pain in my head. I still have the ringing in my ears. And they're just like, you're discharged, right? So I created this video, and I just spoke what I felt at the moment, and I put it out there, and so many people responded to it, and I've been doing these videos every single day, just documenting the journey, and I just cannot thank Nancy. You guys both comment on the posts, everybody in the comments, and so many people. I was making a list the other day of all the people that have commented on my headache videos, and it's beyond 30 people. I don't even know. I'm just so grateful for all of you. So I finally ended up at a neurologist yesterday in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And I was a little nervous at first because he said, first of all, he looked like he was like Doogie Howser, MD. And he said, I just want to be honest. I don't specialize in headaches. I specialize in seizures. And I'm like, okay, I don't have them, but let's keep listening. So he had some really good questions, and there's some history in the family with headaches. My sister Mary passed away when she was 7 of a brain aneurysm. My sister Eileen has something that she's fine, thank God, but she, and sorry, having a moment.
No, it's all right, Tim. Take your time.
I just want to say that I absolutely love the radiating reel that's happening right now on this show. This isn't canned, or there's no dramatic. It's not pausing for dramatic effect. This is just really how you feel. So take all the time you need.
Thanks. So where was I? Sorry.
You were talking to him. He had good questions, but he specializes in seizures, not headaches.
I'm still on the Doogie Howser thing, but no, go ahead.
I know, that was pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that was. Thank you very much for bringing it back.
We could end the show now.
Did you check his ID to see how old he was?
I didn't, but I almost asked. But my mom and dad actually came with me, which I was really happy about, because my mom is a retired public health nurse, and she knows all the questions to ask.
So were you driving into Philadelphia? Is that where you were driving into? You say it was an hour away.
No, it's in Scranton.
Scranton, okay.
Yeah.
You went to Pennsylvania, New York. You were all over.
I'm near the border of New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. So, yeah. So I shared all the information, all my history, and my mom shared all the history about the family, and so he said this is what I think. He said, let's prescribe you a medication that you could take at night. It makes you drowsy, so it should help you sleep. This is the other thing. The last probably week, I have not been sleeping. I'll wake up at like 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and I'll go out on the couch, and then I won't fall back asleep for a few hours, and then I'll wake up and I'll fall asleep. And so I'm like running on, not Dunkin. I don't know what I'm running on.
You were running on, I'm going to guess in some level, you were running on fear.
I was running on fear. I was running
and frustration. Go, you, me, not me.
Fear of the unknown. When
fear
you don't know what's
yeah,
because your mind starts going through thinking, "What's the worst?" I would imagine, that might be what you're running on. But
especially after it's like 3rd day, 4th day, 5th day. Like I've never had a headache that's lasted that long, so I really don't have any. I don't have any experience with this, but I can imagine it would freak me out.
Yeah, but the other thing I would say is just running on from so many people. Just like that's what is keeping me going this whole week. Like I still have this headache right now. I still have ringing in my ears. Like sometimes it's hard to hear; it gets so loud, right? But everybody shows up. So he prescribed a medication for it should dampen down so the headaches aren't as bad. He said it could take up to 6 weeks for the effect to happen, though. Not necessarily, but could. He suggested I get magnesium oxide and B2 riboflavin vitamins. And he's going to get me an appointment with a headache specialist that's in the network as well. So that's like the most progress that I've seen in, I don't know how long, like all these years that I've been getting these headaches. It has been so frustrating because nothing has worked. And it's just so frustrating. Like, just like the whole process going from, you know, a virtual doctor visit. Now I couldn't actually see my doctor in person. I'm going tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. Right? All of this has happened between the virtual doctor visit and I'm going to see him in person on Saturday. Right? Like, how ridiculous is that I can't just get in to see my primary care doctor?
Right.
It's crazy. You know? And we're having trouble with that on our end too.
Are you?
We have 8 kids, right? 7 of them live at home.
Yeah.
And you can't get an appointment with anybody out here in California either. It's like, come on. Anyways, let me ask you this, Tim. So you went through this week. We can call it whatever type of week we want, because that was a lot, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a lot more to it. You just, you know, it's hard to get it all out. But how are you feeling now? Like, now that you've gone through it, you've seen this guy, he's giving you some stuff and some hope. Is that helping to give you relief? Because you said it was a 6-week build up for the medication. So how are you feeling?
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you, and Nancy can tell you, that I definitely have more energy today. She was saying that I'm more Tim today
So much more
from
Tim.
earlier.
I was surprised to see your hair done. I was just
I
gonna say
showered.
the videos that I've seen this week, the hair's been all over the place.
I know I'm not totally radiating real in that category, but we are live from my bedroom with the built-in laptop and these Apple things, and yeah. So it's a different kind of radiating real tonight.
It's all radiating real. You don't have to come with your hair and comb to be radiating real. Radiating real is showing up how you are. That's all.
Well, are you feeling relief? Are you still? Is it just like it's a change in attitude, but the physical symptoms are still the same? Or how? I mean,
physical symptoms are still there. I still have a stabbing pain in the back of my head. Like this during this whole conversation, it's still there. I still have a ringing in my ear this whole time, and most of the time, and like the same persistence of the headache. But I will say that I have received so many messages from people through this whole thing. I received an audio message this morning from somebody who's been on one of the shows that I co-host, and she said that she has lived in chronic pain her whole life. And I had no idea. And she said she even thought about taking her life at one point.
Mm.
And that message I just have no words for something like that. I messaged her back with, you know, support and love and all the things, but like, to the content I created before, I don't even like the word content. It sounds like so transactional. The stories, the whatever, you know, it was all about like live streaming and social media marketing and, you know, like all those transactional businessy kind of things.
right.
But here's another message that I got. Brother Tim, it is very hard for me to get through your posts and wait, sorry, I have to expand my window thing. It's very hard for me to get through your posts and all the love coming your way, the powerful energy and positive support from some really good people. I hold you in my prayers. Be strong. We are holding on to you. Michael Haynes wrote today, "You are my hero."
I saw that.
Stick with that, Tim.
Isn't that cool? That's a cool feeling, though, right? This is what I try to tell people. Like, that question that's out there, it's one of these soul-searching questions for people. Why do bad things happen to good people? Now, I know from talking to all of you that bad things have happened to each of you in your lives, right? And me too. I'm no stranger to this either. Bad things have happened. I'll tell you one of the answers to that. Not the only answer, but there is one answer to this. One answer to this question is because after you endure it, you can then be a shoulder or a support system for others who are in the middle of that fire. Like, you know, Nancy and I share sexual trauma, from our past. It's different, I'm sure, right? And I've never even actually talked to Nancy about hers, and or mine, so I don't even know what her actual experiences with that were. But I can tell you that when I meet other people who have been in some type of sexual abuse or physical abuse, for that matter, I have some experience that I can, hey, things can get better. And anyways, hopefully, Tim, when this is all over, that'll be something that you'll be able to do for others too, and help them, to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely. And I was just talking to Nancy today. We're actually going to create a community of people who survive with chronic pain.
Yeah, people who are out there thriving and living with chronic pain. Like I said in the comment, most people just sort of suffer silently, especially when you have chronic pain, right? It's there. There's nothing anyone can do, and you've got to push through it anyway. And I think that's the kind of pain that people dismiss because they'll see you doing things. And so, like, you couldn't possibly be in so much pain, right? You go to work, you do all this stuff. No, I actually am, but I have no choice but to. I have nerve damage, and I live with a daily pain level of 3, but I've habituated to 3. If I'm at 3, we're good. When it starts to move, but it doesn't mean I don't live with the chronic pain. It doesn't mean I don't have to think about the things I'm doing and how I'm doing them. But there's something about that. And Tim, being in pain this whole time and now hearing from other people who are suffering in silence, I love that it's inspired you and that you're asking me to be a part of it with you to create this brave space for people to enter into. Again, what I was saying, you're there for other people. I know that you have learned so much in the last week and a half, 2 weeks. Being in this space, radiating real, showing up the way you are. And sometimes in the middle of it, you can't see what it is, but I'm curious for you, like, what have you learned? Because I feel like you've expressed some things to me that I would like for you to share with everyone, because they're very powerful things. And again, from being through this, you now get to share that with them. I mean, you've sent me a million messages of, what's been happening for you.
Yeah. So what I've learned. Oh, so many things. I mean, just the power of sharing your story. And it doesn't have to be a medical thing. It doesn't have to be about leukemia, but there's people out there that are going through similar things as you. Like, on the base level, we're humans, right? Like, before business, before live streaming, before social media, we're humans, and we all go through things. They might be wonderful things, right? Like, you could do posts about something amazing that happened to you, right? And this whole journey I consider amazing. And I was telling Nancy the other day that since meeting her, I have a newfound perspective on gratitude, because I never had the perspective in the past, at least not consciously, that I should be thankful for things that weren't good, that, like, having leukemia, or now I'm doing okay, but if I wasn't, or whatever it was, something bad, it's all in perspective. But having that perspective of being grateful for everything that happens along the journey, because if those things didn't happen, then you wouldn't be where you are now, and I would not rather be anywhere else right now than right here.
If I may.
No.
Okay, well then I won't. But I'm kidding.
You're driving this bus. You can do anything you want.
Well, listening to Tim and Nancy about that, because you're saying a lot of people suffer in silence, and I've always believed that you don't put things for myself. This is not. And I want to tell you what I've learned from just this call, because we all know that I haven't been on I've been on, but not been on for 2 weeks. And just listening to this, I know I go through different pain. We know I'm a disabled vet. I go through different things. I've had headaches, but mine is mostly, for me, is more of an anxiety that stemmed from something that happened when I was away from the family in October of 2019 when I was away. And when I went through the whole TIA thing when I was in Las Vegas. And so when I listen to you, on there because I don't talk about it like that. When I do posts, it's, how can I inspire? How can I do that? So when you're talking about like starting a group like that, I'd be the first one to go on board with you and Nancy and do that just so you might not want to hear some of the crazy things that that I would try. I mean, we could talk about tuning forks and some of the things that I've heard about with the
want to hear about all of it.
Yeah. So, but it did, and you're inspiring right now because I got actually a text from one of my friends going, Joe, you're what's wrong? Because I'm listening to you, and obviously they could tell that I'm not on there, and I go like this. No, I'm fine. And really, I'm listening to you guys going like this. Man, I'm going through all the pain that I go through. That starts over here in the neck. That Tim, I get it, and I'm not trying to say mine is worse because it's not. I don't think so, but I really, really, you guys inspired me today. So thank you. And Tim, I think the world of you. I do. That's how come I felt, I know that I could pick up the phone and just call you, even though you wouldn't answer, but I'd pick up the phone, but don't worry about it. Nancy did the same thing. So that's all right. But
telemarketers, there's telemarketers.
Yeah. Who's that Joe guy?
That's a 615 number. Joe, the finance guy. Forget it. I'm not answering that. But it's amazing what you have gone through and what you've learned, just like Brian was saying, over the past 2 weeks. Because, what's the old quote or whatever, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. Mm-hmm. And it is, you're getting stronger from it, from what you're learning. So I appreciate you. I just want to let you know, me being over here in silence, listening to you intently and listening to Nancy intently, there's a reason for it, because my gears are already turning in my head going like this. Oh my God, I'm on board. Just like when Nancy was talking about, her show. What was the one you were talking to me and Michael Ray about? And
oh gosh, we had such a great conversation.
Yeah, that was about the taboo stuff that people talk about or whatever. Yes. And it was and Michael Ray, well, obviously he was drinking too, so he was like, "Oh, I'm in." But
he's a gamer, so
It was. So I just want to let you know you inspired me today, both of you. So I appreciate you, and really,
well, you're just really entering into this brave space right now spontaneously and radiating real. That's inspiring. That right there is inspiring. So know that you're doing the exact same thing that we are.
Yeah,
we all have that.
And we would be honored to have you as part of the community, Joe.
Thank you.
I mean, the other thing I would say is that, like, share what you're comfortable sharing, right? Like, I was not comfortable. I mean, here and there, I've said something on social media before about my leukemia. Like, you know how on Facebook, like when it's your birthday, there'll be like a fundraiser that you can, have people donate. So I would suggest people do that for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, which has helped me a lot throughout the years. They have family support groups. They have, they can help you with funding sometimes. They do so much important research. And it's just such an amazing organization. So if anybody, knows anybody that has leukemia or knows a family member, or, I encourage everyone to support the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, because they do such important work.
I just want to say one thing also is that, and I was trying to put it in the comments, easier I will, but radiating real does not mean you're obligated to share every intimate detail of your life. Absolutely not. Radiating real just means you show up where you are in that space, in that place. And just like Tim said, you share what you're comfortable sharing, because that's your real in that moment. And it gives me chills. Like, no one is obligated to share every intimate detail of their thoughts, their experiences, their heart, their mind. That's not what radiating real is. Radiating real is all about honoring where you are and showing up that way and allowing others to shower you with unconditional acceptance and love for doing just that.
Yep.
Doing just that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Wow. All right. We're going to have to, we got to end on a positive note of some sort because, positive all the way around so what's the way forward, Tim, now? And obviously, I know there's positivity coming out of this. What's the way forward for you now, Tim?
Well, me and Nancy are going to create this amazing community together. We're going to bring people together who all, I don't like the word suffer, survive with chronic pain. And we're all going to be there for each other. And who knows what will come out of that? It could be events, it could be programs, who knows what will come out of it. But we're going to bring together an amazing community of people who all are surviving with chronic pain. What else is next? Just figuring out what is next with my health. Hopefully these things work. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning. I also have Nancy's going to be helping me with a program that I'm putting on July 12th called How to Plan In-Person Events. Again, it's going to be a in-person event here in Northeast Pennsylvania, in Owensdale, Pennsylvania, but it's also going to be live streamed. And Nancy is going to be my online engagement specialist, so people online can feel just as welcome as in person. And wouldn't rather have anybody else than her doing that. And then also on July 19th, I'm starting another round of my Survive and Rise. Carl Sullivan, who's in the UK, who has an amazing beard, always says survive and rise with live.
Survive and rise. Okay.
Yes, with live.
With live.
Yeah, that course will be starting on July 19th. It's a 6-week program for anybody who wants to launch their own live show to make massive impact in 6 weeks. And they'll actually launch it within those 6 weeks. And I'll put the links in the comments.
I did it.
She did do it. And now look what she's doing.
Yes.
See, and that is awesome. I should have had you guys in here doing this. Never mind. Anyway, I think we talked about how many people can produce. Can somebody get on doing this? And does it have to be just me? But anyways, no,
it doesn't have to be just you.
Okay, good. Thank God, because Ira, I listen, I know what you go through, man, and you just make it so easy. And now I know what they do too. So yeah, this is not easy doing this on here on this end. So
But know that people help. So you do, there's some things, you're doing on your own, but there's things that you can also get help with, Joe. So
yeah.
Don't feel overwhelmed by all of it.
No. Oh, I was talking about the producing side. I know.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying there's things you actually can get help with.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ira told me, he just said, Joe, good luck. Here's your StreamYard thing.
Oh, got it.
He goes, and what was it? Trial by fire? I'm like kidding.
Yeah. Well, we'll have another conversation because there are ways, and I'm learning them as I go. So I'm happy to share my learning moments with you as we go.
And I'm only kidding. Ira, he, and I know that he would speak up anyways, but he taught me.
He taught you everything you need to know, but executing it is not easy on your own. It's not.
Oh no, it's not. I'm telling you, I remember the first time I did it. What was Nancy our first guest that I did? Who was the first one? Well, it was Nancy.
Was it me?
And I think it was Nancy, and you're the one that told me afterwards, go like this. Not easy, is it? I was like, no, it really was not easy.
Nope.
Because you're watching the comments and you're trying to do everything and listen.
It depends.
And that's the whole.
Look, it depends too. There's a whole slew of banners and pop-up graphics, the overlays, the background. What are you trying to do? Screen shares, and so if you have music too. I mean, and we don't use the Snapchat filters like they do. But
yeah. Well, the other thing. Sorry, Jeff.
Oh, no, go ahead, Tim.
I was going to say you don't have to do all these things start where you are, what you have time for, do, but there's certainly a lot of steps you can incorporate into the live stream process, but you certainly don't have to do them all, right away, or even by the time you're creating an amazing production.
My StreamYard skills over the last 2+ years have gone up, right? I mean, I didn't start with overlays, and the first time I did it, I had the duck, still on me, the little duck logo.
Love Puddles. Puddles the duck. Shout out to Puddles.
I didn't know how to take it off. I mean, it didn't really matter. I didn't care. But I mean, you learn. And then I was doing the virtual background for a long time, and then as I improved my own background, I got the curtains. I didn't need the virtual background anymore. I mean, it just depends on what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm learning every day on it, so that's good. It is crazy. It is really crazy. So doing this stuff. All right, so I was trying to put a scratch down the record, so at least everybody could leave a little bit in a happy mood. But Tim, for me, prayers are always going to be with you. You are one of my friends. You ever want to talk, you call me, text me. We're both on Eastern time. So that's like a plus, because almost everybody else we know is over in California. So
but we love all the people, right, Joe?
Yeah, we do. I'm not saying that. I'm
not sure Stefan does, because he was throwing a little shade about me being able to go to the pool in California here, but that's okay.
Well,
we still love Stefan, though.
I know for myself, I'm an early riser, so you can't call if I'm calling somebody like at 7 or 8 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. I can't get in touch with Ira then.
Hell no.
Because Ira's late on there, so it's just
I don't go to bed early. So for me, one of the best things about owning my own business, I start my workday really now at 10 o'clock because I do my workout. I'm doing the gym stuff before I get going, but I work till 9 or 10 o'clock pretty much every night. So this is what it is.
Well, Tim, it's open anytime. So I'm usually got windshield time from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Feel free. So
thank you.
You're welcome.
Mark Lee says, Tim, that you can call him anytime. I don't know if you want to pull that comment up, Joe.
I'm trying. I'm going down. I'm going.
Mark Lee.
I apologize because I have a client.
No
problem. But I love this conversation. I love.
Oh my God, Nancy, you're leaving. It's only 7. We're only an hour into it.
Yeah, didn't they?
I know.
We didn't go 4 hours.
Right.
Yeah, I will schedule it. We'll take a Friday and I will schedule the 4 hours. This was the last minute privilege and surprise to be here.
You're taking Joe's spot. Joe's usually the one saying, hey, I got grandbabies upstairs.
Exactly, the grandkids. Yeah.
That's why I was joking with you. So it was my turn to go, hey, wait a minute. What's going on here? Yeah, that's not right. But Nancy, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I got to give a shout out to my son, RJ. It's his birthday today. He's 17.
Oh, happy birthday.
All right. Happy birthday, RJ. Well, and then and Tim, I know you put the links in and stuff, but I don't, Ira, what do you want to leave on? Anything you want to leave on?
I really just want to say this. First of all, thank you for coming and being so transparent and sharing. Obviously, nobody would wish that kind of pain on their worst enemy, let alone a friend. And we do consider you our friend on the show. So thank you for joining and telling. And I'll be praying for you. That's what I can do. And again, for anybody watching, if you haven't participated in Radiating Real, it's just hashtag Radiating Real. Jump in. The water's fine, as my mom used to say.
Yes.
It's good. You don't, like Nancy and Tim say, you don't have to share everything. Share what you're comfortable with. But the idea is to let people behind the scenes a little bit and realize that this is the thing I want to say. This is ultimately what I do want to say. Be kind. It is so damn important. Like, you don't know the struggles that most people are going through because they don't typically share. Like Joe was saying earlier, like I didn't feel comfortable sharing that stuff because I want to come off as whiny or whatever. It's like, yeah. So be nice, because being nice never hurts. You know what I mean? Just be nice. Sometimes that could be the only positive interaction that somebody has all day, and that could keep them from committing suicide. And I don't want to, take this down a diatribe, but it's true. Suicide's a real thing, and just be nice. That's what I want to say.
All right. Well, that's the end of Cup of Joe.
Music.
Yeah,
The end
and,
of Cup of Joe is that beautiful lesson that we can all make a difference in this world.
Yeah, I
Yes,
mean
it
that
is.
could make the world. It could be in the world. Just be nice.
Be nice.
And go radiate real.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yep.
you're comfortable
Hashtag
sharing.
radiating real. I still love that thing that you did in there that I'm really radiating real, and I got that. So I'm sorry. I'm just going to laugh about that one.
Welcome to my bedroom.
Yeah. And it looks great.
Exactly.
Well, thank you.
I mean,
Not
I
quite
even
as
like
good as your studio, but
I like the pictures in the background. So
I
that's
do
good
too.
too.
thank you.
That is some good stuff. Please tell the artist that I really applaud them. So that's good.
I will. And Nancy gave the suggestion to Caitlin last night that she should add sparkles to her slime. So immediately after we got off that call last night, Caitlin went and made sparkle slime. Just so you guys know, breaking news.
Awesome. Breaking
Caitlin, now
news.
your BFF.
The show tomorrow is Shout Out Saturday.
Oh yeah,
It's
please.
Tim, it's Nancy, and it's Brian Schulman. He's in the comments all day. Thank you so much, Brian. He's made like
I won't be
what time did that start? 9:00 Pacific? Is that
9:00 Pacific.
Yeah. So
and we're there until 1:00 Pacific.
4-hour show. You can social distancing.
Yep,
and everybody can join the show. All you gotta do is click the link and join.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun.
Would love to see you guys there. Would love it.
Yep.
I love it, but I gotta run because I got a client and I'm now 5 minutes.
See you later, Nancy. See you later, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
And
Thank
I'll
you
see you two tomorrow.
Sounds great. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
BowmanDigitalMedia.com.
JoeTheFinanceGuy.com.
Gotta kill it.